my guy.
All right, so I'm not gonna get to all of the name calling and stuff about my girl. I'm not gonna talk about that. We'll talk about facts.
Let's skip all that. Let's get into the meat.
We'll talk about facts. Now, I have said unequivocally and very clearly that this gentleman, and I think that you may be misunderstanding this, that he was charged with second-degree murder.
Okay.
And he pleaded guilty to manslaughter. That's why he did 8 years in prison. If he believed that he was innocent, he would have fought the charges against second-degree murder. Maybe he'd have got off. But he pled guilty.
Well, we don't know because we don't know what his attorney told him to do.
Well, he pled guilty to a crime. He didn't have to.
People plead guilty to crimes that they don't commit.
Okay, he had due process. If he believed he was innocent, he should have fought the case like everybody else would do.
It's not about if you believe you're innocent. It's about whether or not you can fight the charge. And given the advice that his attorney gave him, we don't know.
Well, that's fine.
Let's go on.
That's fine. Let's move on. Let's talk about the restroom situation. In my video, and I would encourage anybody who's want to watch the full video and don't take the little clips that you cut and spend 45 minutes talking about. In the restroom, I never said that he wasn't trying to rape her. I never said that. What I said is that we need to look at a myriad of different opportunities or a myriad of different objectives that could have happened. Because in the law enforcement community, we're going to have to charge the person.
Well, you said you didn't know. That's what you said.
Yeah, I don't know. Nobody knows. You don't know. He could have.
Do you think that there was ill intent that he had?
It doesn't matter what you think. It's what you can prove based on evidence.
I understand, but do you believe? Because you said if you saw him in the restroom and you saw him doing that, you would have given him those hands.
No, I didn't. I said if I saw. Now think about this. This is exactly what I said. Okay. Melvin, I'm assuming since he beat the guy to death, he believed that he was trying to rape her. So Melvin believed he was trying to rape her.
So you don't. So you didn't say that if he was in the restroom, you saw him trying to go do the stall. You didn't say you would give him the hands or take care of work.
What I said was based on what Melvin believed had happened. Given the
I'm not talking about. I'm talking about you.
If I see a guy in the stall, we will have a confrontation. If I see him trying to, and I visibly see him trying to get to my daughter in the restroom, we're going to have a physical confrontation. That's what's going to happen.
Why?
If I see him trying to get into the stall,
why? You don't know what he was doing. Maybe he was just shaking the stall.
If I see him, not if somebody gives me secondhand information or my daughter say, I think that's what he was doing.
If you see him shaking the stall, why would you get into a confrontation?
Well, this is I'm saying hypothetically, right? I don't know. If I go in,
this is obviously all hypothetical. I'm asking if you saw someone shaking your daughter's stall, why would you get into a confrontation with them? You don't know what they're doing.
No, if I am in there watching him and I believe, based on what I see, him trying to get
in the women's restroom to begin with?
Excuse me?
Why would you be in the women's restroom to begin with?
Well, there's a myriad of different reasons, and you can pick one.
Give me one good reason why you would be in the women's restroom.
There's not a reason. It happens. People go into the
You just said there's a myriad of reasons. Now you're saying it happens. Give me one good reason why you would be in the women's restroom to catch this dude shaking the stall.
So first of all, let's talk in realistics. Let's talk in reality, right? If I'm walking in a...
So now we went from hypothetical to reality. Okay, let's go.
You trying to play bird. If I walked into a convenience store and I saw a man go, and I know my daughter went to the restroom, I saw a man go in there after her, I'm going to go in there and protect her.
Protect her from what, though?
A man going in. That's my presumption. Now, if he goes in the restroom, now think about this. Don't try to interrupt me.
What are you protecting? He just went into the restroom.
If a man goes into the restroom and he goes to another stall and goes in there and shut the door, that is a very different scenario than him. I'm seeing him see my daughter go into the stall and try to break into the stall. That's different.
So now you believe he was trying to break into the stall?
I don't know what he was doing. I'm saying if I saw something similar to what I just described.
So if you saw something similar to what Melvin saw, would you have the belief that he was trying to break into the stall? Okay, let's say, I understand. I know he didn't see that, right? He went off of what his daughter said. If you saw someone go into the restroom, shaking the stall, you would have the belief that the person was trying to harm your daughter.
I would have the belief that he was trying to get into her stall if I saw it with my own eyes.
Okay. Now, if your daughter comes out and tells you, hey, this dude came into the restroom and trying to harm me, trying to get into my stall, now you don't believe her?
I'm not saying if I believe it or not. I'm going to call the police.
Well, would you believe your daughter?
Yeah, I'll believe it, and I'll call the police.
You would call the police. But if you saw him, you wouldn't call the police.
Well, okay, listen. He missed his opportunity to protect her in the restroom. He missed it. It's over. The dude did what he did in the restroom. Now that
it's not over because he then confronted him once he got outside. But I'm saying, why wouldn't you call the police if you saw the dude go into the restroom? If you saw him go into the restroom?
Well, I will after I make sure that he's not going to harm my daughter, which a confrontation probably will ensue.
Why would you take the law into your own hands? Why wouldn't you call the police? Like, hey, someone just went into the women's restroom.
Okay, brother. If I see him shaking my daughter, I am going to prevent him from
see him shaking the stall. You have to be in the women's restroom. I'm talking about calling the police, saying, hey, this dude just went into the women's restroom. Why wouldn't you do that? Or tell security? Why wouldn't you tell security, hey, this dude just went into the women's restroom? Why would you take it upon yourself to go into the women's restroom and see what he's doing?
If I see him go in the restroom, I'm going to go in there after him and protect him. If I hear about this,
why? I'm asking why. I'm asking why, though. You haven't given me some why.
Okay, Lucas, let me explain. Okay. If I'm in the convenience store and my 16-year-old daughter, first of all, I wouldn't be sitting in the car. I will go in the convenience store with her. Now, if I see her go to the restroom and I see a man go in the restroom after her, I am going to go into the restroom to protect her. Now, if I see him go in and it appears he just went in the wrong one, he goes to a stall, then I'll call the police or whatever. But if he's going into the stall after my daughter, I'm going to protect her. That is my opportunity to protect her.
Do you understand you're making assumptions? You're making assumptions first that he's going into the stall after your daughter. Second, you don't have a problem with you taking the law into your own hands as opposed to calling security, right?
Lucas, are you serious?
Because that's what he did outside. Once he got outside and saw the dude, he gave him that work. You said he should have called the police. So why wouldn't you call the police or call security even, saying, hey, there's a dude who just went into my daughter's, who just went into the women's restroom once my daughter was in, and that's where my daughter is. Why wouldn't you call security then, since you want to obey the law?
Lucas, let me establish both scenarios because I think you're conflating the two. If I was in the convenience store, I see my daughter go into the restroom. I see a grown person who appears to be a man go into the restroom. I am going to go in there to make sure that this guy isn't going there to try to hurt my daughter. Because I don't know if she's just going in there to wash her hands. He shouldn't be in there. Now, there could be a scenario where he goes in, I go in after him, and he goes to a stall. He may identify as a woman. I don't know. But I'm going to go into there to make sure. Now, that is a different scenario. If he tries to go after my daughter, not knowing that I'm behind him, I am going to confront him. Now, confrontation could mean a myriad of different things. If he tries to fight me, he will lose. If it's
I hear what you're saying, but I think we're talking over each other. What I'm saying is,
let me finish. If it's a verbal confrontation, if it's just verbal, and I'm like, hey, bro, what you doing? He like, oh, I'm sorry, whatever. That's different. I'm not going to just put my hands on people just randomly. Now, if I'm out in the car, my daughter comes out and tells me a guy attempted to come in the restroom. I am not in a position to defend her. It already happened. I'm going to call the police and I'm going to get them involved. If I see the guy walking down the street, I'm not going to get into a confrontation with him unless I'm expecting to kill him. And this is why. Because he may have a gun. He may have a knife. He may got hands. So unless I'm getting out the car to actively go all the way with this guy, I'm going to stay in the car and call the police. Period.
All right. So the reason you gave for him not getting a confrontation after the incident, because he may have a gun, he may have hands. What stops him from having a gun? What stops him from having a gun or having hands when he originally goes into the restroom where you confront him? That's the first part. The second part is. You said the reason why you wouldn't is because he may have a gun or may have hands. He may have a gun or hands when he goes into the restroom from the jump. The question I have is why wouldn't you call the security saying, hey, there's a dude who just went into the restroom. Why would you take the law in your own hands?
My daughter is now protected from him. She's in my custody.
We don't know that because you don't know what he's doing, though. That's the point, right?
You're saying when she's with me and the guy is walking down the street, she's protected with me. She's now in my custody.
No, if you were in the QT Mart, your daughter went to the restroom, and this dude went into the restroom. Hey, security. Some dude just went into the restroom with my daughter. Can you check that out?
No, we both gonna go in there because I'm going in there.
So you don't have a problem with taking into your own. So you don't have a problem with handling business.
Listen, Lucas. The law doesn't have a problem with you going into the restroom in that predicament, in that situation. The law is on your side. You can lawfully detain him. You can lawfully defend your daughter lawfully.
I understand, but in order to defend, something has to happen. Even if he's shaking on the door, you argue that we don't know what his intent was, right?
This is what I'm telling you. If I'm in there and I see him, then that's when I'm going to assess the situation. If I didn't see it, I don't know what he was doing.
Okay, what other reason would he have for shaking or shaking on the stall door?
In my video, I gave a clear explanation of possibilities.
You didn't give any. The possibilities were outlandish.
Let me explain to you this. I was a police officer 6.5 years. I've been to calls like that. I have never been to a call when a homeless person attempted to get in a women's stall to rape somebody. I have taken plenty of calls and arrested people who were homeless, who went in the wrong restrooms or even in the right restrooms, who went into a stall while people were in there to use drugs. So what I'm giving on my video is a myriad of different situations that could be possible. I said
but none of those possibilities apply in this context. There is nothing that says he was a drug user. This, based on the report, based on the information we have from the interviews, this was a repeat offender. He was a repeat offender.
According to who?
And support crime.
According to who?
According to the daughter.
No, okay. Let's look at it like this. This is why you got to have the investigatory mindset. The daughter said that. She can say what she want to say. We have to be able to verify that that's true. The security staff. The security staff didn't say that he did that.
We have to be able to verify what the witnesses say. I'm just arguing. I'm saying I'm giving the benefit of the doubt to Melvin and the daughter as opposed to the weirdo. That's all I'm doing.
There's no benefit of the doubt in any situation. All I'm saying is
because what you're saying is you don't know if she's lying. Well, I don't know if the witnesses saw what they alleged to have seen.
Bro,
because Melvin said the dude swung at him first.
So what would he if he wouldn't have died and the police showed up? What would he have been charged with?
I don't know. I don't really anything. Doesn't matter to me. I would have been fine with that.
Well, let me tell you, because I practice law in the state of Arizona. Only thing that, based on the information that we have, he did not touch her. He did not even say a word to her. She didn't say nothing to him. He never made contact with her. The most that we would be able to charge him with is disorderly conduct. We wouldn't be. Now, if he touched her.
Exactly my point. So I'm glad he's not on the planet Earth. Because like you said, the most you could have charged him was disorderly conduct. He didn't touch her. So you going into the woman's restroom and seeing him shaking the stall, why are you going to do that?
Listen, what I'm saying is that
there's nothing to defend according to you.
No, you got to look at the way the law is written in self-defense. If a guy is shaking a stall, some people who ain't about that life, they may call the police and not go in there and help their daughter. That's fine. Some people who are hotheads will probably go in there and just beat the guy up, and the guy may be a transgender. Reasonable people will go and assess the situation. And if you're shaking the stall and it appears to me that you're attempting to get to my daughter, I am going to defend her. The law will protect me.
But under the law, that would be disorderly conduct, like you just said.
If there's no additional information of what he was doing. Now, if he said...
We don't have any additional information, because all he did was shake the stall, and the girl chased him out of there. That's it.
No girl chased him out of there. He left.
I thought the other friend was the one that chased him out.
No. The reports that I read... The reports that I read is that the young girl saw him come out. He was witnessing. She wasn't in there with them. I didn't see that. I could be inaccurate.
Okay, so he shook the stall and left. There's no harm, no foul. That's what I heard from you.
No, think about this. Now, let's say that both were in there. Now, you're telling me that two little girls are in there. He shakes the stall and then walked past the other one and just walk out. So he wanted to rape the one in the stall, but he didn't want to rape the other one standing there. So what I'm saying is that
I'm not the criminal mastermind. I'm not going to explain why he would want to get it in the stall or not.
What I'm saying is that we have no evidence that he attempted to rape anybody. We don't have any evidence of that.
So then why would you confront him or try to harm him in the woman's restroom?
Okay, because let me give you a few other scenarios. Maybe he is deranged. He was schizophrenic. Maybe he accidentally went into the restroom. I need to go and address this. But listen, you were saying 3 times. The daughter said 3 times. There's no verification. There's no phone.
So give me a reason why. So I'm saying what she said. I'm going off of what she said. Unless you have any evidence to say that what she's saying is untrue or inaccurate, that's all we have.
Okay, but as a police officer, you can't. You have to go off the facts. So she said this, but the security didn't verify that, and no police report verified that.
Well, they didn't talk to security. That's what we see.
They did talk to security.
Where did they take a statement from security?
What you were reading, if you read your paperwork, you were reading a probable cause statement. You wasn't reading the case report. The case report comes from officers who individually write cases based on witness testimony. The probable statement is a affidavit statement to give the court the reason why you are arresting this person for these principles. It's a very quick synopsis. Okay. That thing was probably 1 page long.
So you're telling me that the officers asked him about what the little girl said about them telling the little girl that was his 3rd time that, we're going to beat him up or you beat him up. That's what you tell me that the officers asked these individuals, that the employees from security.
Unless the security staff quit and went home before the officers got there, they were interviewed by police officers.
I didn't ask that. I asked about a specific question. I asked about the question of whether or not this was his 3rd offense and whether or not that they told her that, either you beat him up or we beat him up.
There was no evidence, no reporting that the security staff made a statement to say that you beat him up or we beat him up. And
that is daughter's testimony.
What I'm saying, okay, you as a person that's sitting behind a television, that's your evidence. Police cannot use that as evidence to charge you.
So I'm asking, did they ask them about what the daughter alleged that they claimed they were to say?
I don't know if they asked them specifically.
There we go.
It wasn't in the probable cause statement. So if the officers didn't put in the probable cause statement,
maybe it was just poor police work. Maybe that's what it was.
Maybe not. So
all right. So what we have right now is the daughter.
Let's get to the meat and potatoes of this. So Melvin went into the store and went into the store or to the front of the store to have a conversation with security. He did not initially see Leon at this point. His daughter mentioned that a guy came in.
Where does it say that? Where does it say he didn't see him?
Because his daughter pointed him out. That's what the report says. His daughter pointed out the guy in a dirt road next to QT. They were in the car when they drove over to the guy. So, and you don't live in Arizona, so you don't see the coverage that's here locally.
So where does it say if she pointed him out? What do you mean he didn't see? How did she point him out if the father didn't see who she was pointing to?
Okay, listen to what I'm saying. When he made contact with the security staff, he had not seen the guy. He don't know who this guy is.
Did he see him before making contact with security staff when his daughter pointed?
No, his daughter pointed to the guy after they were leaving. They got in the car. They were leaving. Daughter says, "There the guy go right there."
Then he goes to security.
No.
So he went to security first?
His daughter, they were in the, they spoke to security first.
His daughter pointed to the guy.
No, he said, "You take care of her, I'm going to take care of it." The report says that when they got in the car to leave, the daughter said, "Hey, Daddy, there he go." She saw him when they were leaving, crossing across a dirt lot next to QT off of their property. He drives up to the guy. They are in a car. He drives up to the guy. This wasn't heat of passion. This wasn't he ran on foot. He drove up to the guy. He confronted the guy. Witnesses say they saw him knock the guy to the ground and continue to beat, kick, and stomp him. And some of them said that it appeared that he was unconscious. Now,
I don't have a problem with any of that.
Well, this is the problem. Like, you may not, but you, by law, you can't do that because you are now in 2 separate incidents.
I understand legally. I get that. I'm just saying 8 years and what he did, I don't agree with that.
Somebody intentionally.
Why is it intentionally? Explain that to me.
Okay, let me explain to you by law. And I'm sure this is why they charged him with, first of all, he was charged with aggravated assault. And aggravated assault is 2 different assaults in the state of Arizona, right? If you just punch somebody in the face, that's assault. When it becomes aggravated, that's when they suffer from serious bone fractures, serious concussion, or serious bodily injury, right? Serious bodily injury necessitated them to charge him with aggravated assault. He was transported to the hospital where he later died.
Okay, so wait, hold up, because you were incorrect on what you said. Because I'm looking at the report right now. Because that's what I thought. The daughter pointed to him, then they left. So he knew who he was before.
Well, if that's what it says, then go with it. It doesn't matter. You said before he didn't know who the guy was until he made contact with him.
No, that's not true.
I mean, see, he didn't realize the guy. He gave the guy money, right? He gave the guy money. Okay, so he didn't put two and two together until he made contact with him and realized that was the same guy. If that wasn't the case, the daughter wouldn't have to point him out because he would have been like, "Oh yeah, I know that's the guy that I gave money to." Well, regardless of that, Luka, he goes to the parking lot. He was charged.
It's not regardless of that because it says the victim exited the QT and the daughter pointed him out to the father as the male who went into the restroom. Melvin went into the business and told security guard. So he already knew who it was. And then despite him acting out and popping him there, he told security, handle it. Security failed to handle it. That's where he handled his business.
What were they going to handle?
What do you mean what were they going to handle? He tried to assault his daughter.
Okay,
that's what he was going to handle.
Okay, what were the security guards going to do?
Whatever they needed to do. This is third time. Obviously, they weren't going to do anything.
What could they do?
What do you mean? I don't know. You tell me. They said they were going to beat him up. I say they should beat him up then.
Legally, lawfully, what could they have done? Beat him up?
Go for it. Yeah, why not?
That's not legal.
Legally, obviously not. Call the police. Go for it. Call the police, and then he would have gotten disorderly conduct.
And he could have gotten trespassing.
He's already been arrested for trespassing.
And who knows? If they would have interviewed the guy, if he was alive, he was like, "Yeah, man, I'm sorry. I was trying to get in there. I was horny."
I ain't know. You sorry 3 times? Nah, bro. It's your fourth offense.
Here's another thing. A scenario when it comes to laws. Just say that he was alive and they interrogated him and they took a DNA swab. I don't know. And they found out that he was associated with other crimes. Or at least they arrested him for that. And while he was booked, other people came forward and said,
yes. In Bizarro Land, yes. There's a ring of homeless pedophiles. There's a ring of homeless people who are just going assaults on QT. Yes, that's a possibility. It's not a probability. It's very unlikely.
How do you know that's not?
But we won't even go into that because that's not even the reality of the situation. The reality of the situation is the guy's a third-time offender. His fourth time, he messed with the wrong dog.
No, that's not the reality. The reality is that he went into the stall and he shook the stall and he left and what's his name killed him. That's the reality.
So him shaking the stall, if you saw him shake the stall, was enough for you to pound him. But now that he's left it,
I didn't say
it's enough for you to handle your business. Handle the business or confront.
I said there would be a confrontation. Confrontation can be verbal or physical.
There'll be a confrontation. All right. Whatever that means, a confrontation. Okay.
It could be verbal or physical, depending on what the guy does.
All right. That's fine. Verbal or physical. Now, we'll say there was a confrontation outside once he left. That confrontation just escalated to physical violence.
The way that the law is written and the way that reasonable people think is that she said that guy tried to come into the stall. Brother, you can't, you're not going to get in the car, take your kids over here and drive and confront the guy. What if you lost the fight?
He didn't do that. He went to security first. Security failed to do anything.
They weren't going to do nothing more than he could do, and that's call the police.
So then that's why he got that work. I don't see a problem with that.
That's fine. He got the 8 years too.
I think that's what the problem is. I don't see a problem with the work. I see a problem with the sentencing.
What should he have gotten? He pled guilty to manslaughter. He pled guilty.
Less than that's what I'm talking about. Look, we need to look at the attorney. We need to look at whether he paid for an attorney or he had a public defender. Because I don't see how a good attorney would allow him to get 8 years. I don't see that happening.
Because they knew he was wrong, and if he tried to fight second-degree murder, he'd be doing 25 years.
They knew he agreed. He agreed that he punched the dude. He didn't admit to stomping him.
They had witnesses. That's what killed him. They had witnesses.
The witnesses couldn't readily identify him, and the witnesses can't. Here's the thing. The witnesses saw him approach him. The witnesses didn't see the alleged person punching him first.
No,
so we don't know if that's even the case.
No. Even in the probable cause statement, the witnesses said they saw Melvin punch him first, which knocked him to the ground, which he probably hit him and knocked him out.
They can't say they saw Melvin first and not be able to identify him.
They can't see. Listen, there's a difference between identifying a figure and identifying
I understand that they couldn't identify the face, but all they saw were two men.
They can clearly see the two men.
They saw two men.
They can clearly see.
We don't know at what point they saw the two men, because Melvin says that the dude swung at him. So maybe they just saw the after effect of the swing, the miss swing, and then Melvin coming and punching him.
If that was the case, they wouldn't have had enough probable cause to charge him with aggravated assault. These witnesses were clearly at the scene. They clearly saw the initial confrontation. That's why their statements led to him being charged with aggravated assault.
I think what led to him being charged, whatever, is his admittance of guilt.
No, because listen, bro, if he said, yeah, I whooped him, I was defending my daughter, he would be a free man if he actually was defending his daughter. The problem was that he said, yeah, I punched him, but he swung at me first. If the guy would have swung at Melvin first and Melvin dropped him, just one punch, Melvin would be a free man. Melvin would be a free man. But that's not what happened. Even if the guy punched Melvin first, Melvin is still running into legal issues, because while the man was on the ground defenseless, Melvin continued to punch, stomp, and kick him.
Allegedly.
No, that's not. It's witnesses. And then, okay, listen, Luke. Even if it was allegedly, then you go to court and you fight the charge if it's alleged. But if you know that you're dead to rights and you're about to go to prison for second-degree murder, you plead to the lesser crime, so you only have to do 4 years.
I think that depends on what his advice was. What advice he got from what console he got from his attorney and whatnot.
What attorney will tell you to plead to 8 years in prison?
I'm not a lawyer. I don't know the loopholes of the law.
I have dealt with lawyers and I've dealt with public defenders. Public defenders aren't going to tell you to plead to time in prison unless they know that you have no chance of winning this case. This guy, if he was in the restroom,
I don't know.
He could say, if he was in the restroom, he could make a ton of arguments. He could lie and say, I saw the dude try to grab my daughter. He could say anything. I'm not saying he should, but he could. It's a reasonable person would believe, and that's what probable cause is based on. A reasonable person would believe that this crime occurred. A reasonable person would believe that if the guy says, and there's no witness, the guy says he tried to go in the restroom, he has no business being in the women's restroom, and he beat him to death, and he said, well, the dude was fighting me, and I was losing, and so I kept beating him. I lost my temper. I saw my daughter getting raped. I lost my temper. He would be a free man. But your daughter, bro, you were in the car. She tells you drive over to the guy at a separate location. If he'd have punched him once, Lucas.
Under the law, I get it. Under the law? I'm saying we pause on the law. I don't have a problem with what he did. I have no problem.
If he would have punched him once, he would have been fine. He would have probably gotten
charged. Why did he kill him with one punch?
Well, now, let me say this. If he'd have killed him with one punch, he would have had a problem. But it wouldn't have been as obvious of a case to prove when you are beating a person unconscious while they're on the ground defenseless, and you just keep beating them. Boom, 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 boom. A reasonable person would believe that those blows.
I don't know. I don't, because we still have the daughter who says that the dude swung at him first.
But
when it comes to the witnesses, I don't think they're very credible.
In Arizona law, it's called independent witnesses. So a person who is your daughter.
Arizona law. So he should have done this in California, is what you're telling me. He should have done this in LA, is what you're telling me.
California's probably worse. We have you don't even need a concealed carry permit to carry a gun in Arizona. You can carry concealed and open carry. You don't need no permits. We have some very lax laws. We have stand your ground laws. We have people kill people all the time standing their ground. So we have a real flexible spectrum of laws in Arizona. But when you punch a guy while he's unconscious, your daughter is not an independent witness. A person sitting at the pump is an independent witness. They have no vested interest.
There's nothing that relates to he was unconscious. The most I got was snoring and moaning.
What you mean snoring and moaning?
Snoring. That's what they allege that they heard.
They may have been, who knows? They may have walked over there or tried to, hey, or something. I don't know. They may have got close enough to hear it. But you know when you can knock a person unconscious, they do snore, they do moan, they do a lot of that.
I've never heard of snoring and moaning. I've heard of snoring.
Go watch a video. Now, I don't want to condone this video because it's real gruesome. There was a guy.
I've seen it in person. I've never seen moaning like, I've never.
I'm telling you, there's a video online. You can look it up if you want to. There's a guy sleeping in the bed, and then there's another guy come while he sleep, and he just boom, 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 and the guy is going. That's what he's doing.
Well, the dude was also asleep though in the bed. We're talking. That's a different state. We're talking from a state of sleep to that versus someone who's conscious to now snoring and moaning. Two different things here.
Bro, what people are saying is that he was unconscious, and the guy kept beating him. That's what was happening. That's why he was moaning. But what I'm saying, what do you disagree? What am I wrong about? I think we laid out what I think
legally, you're sound. Legally, you're sound.
I'm only making a legal argument.
I'm just saying, I don't agree with the 8 years. That's all. And I don't have a problem with him beating this dude. I don't have a problem with him being dead. I don't have a problem with that.
Well, okay. Let's look at it like this. I'm not arguing morality. I don't think it's reasonable for him to do that because if you kill a man, you go to prison.
I hear you. You argue from the law side where he should have done this and should have done that. I get you.
It doesn't matter, even regardless of the law. You leaving your daughter by herself for 8 years.
Regardless of the law, no, he's getting that butt whooping 9 out of 10.
What is that going to benefit you? Even if you think about this, Lucas. If he didn't kill him,
it's going to stop him from doing it again. If he's thick-headed, well, I'm going to get through his head. So he's like, yo, let me tell you why you're getting this. Let me tell you why you're getting this work. Because you tried to enter my daughter's stall. Bing, bing, bop, bop, bing, 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 bop.
Bro, this guy, first of all, he's mentally ill. And if you saw the picture of him...
No, don't give me that excuse. Don't give me that excuse of mentally ill. He's done this 3 times. Unless he's getting a sign from aliens that the mothership is behind that stall.
Think about this, Lucas. You said he did it 3 or 4 times. So clearly nothing is stopping him from keep doing it. If you beat him up, he's just gonna wake up and go do it again. So that's why, even if he beat him up,
no. That's why we have mitigating factors, right? That's why we have a wall to stop people from coming over. So that wall is equivalent of my hand. So this is what you're gonna remember, right? You go and try to use the stall. You go and try and open the stall again. One thing you'll remember is my hands coming to your face. Now, I'm gonna guess he's probably not gonna do that because he's never been punished, right? Security hasn't done anything. Security has done anything 3 times. So that's where I step in and like, yo, let me handle this.
So you saying this dude haven't got his butt whooped before?
Nothing has happened. Nothing has happened.
See, Lucas, I think I'm not trying to dish your knowledge on this. What I'm saying is that I've dealt with these situations often. I saw the picture of him. He looked like he's clearly on drugs. His family says he's suffering from schizophrenia. He was off his medication. If you look at some of his pictures that they have online, his arrest pictures, he got scars and stuff all over his face. Like
I don't know those actual arrest pictures. I don't know when they were taken.
What I'm saying,
because there's a bunch of pictures that are showing him. But that's what they always do. They show whenever it's a killer or something. They show like baby pictures when he has.
The picture on my video that I just posted, rebutting the video that you made about me, is a picture of him when he's high on drugs. So regardless, man, the thing is that I'm not making a moral argument per se. I'm giving a perspective for me. And I'm giving a legal argument. My legal basis.
I'm saying if we take out the law, I don't have a problem with what he did. That's all I'm saying.
Well, what's the big deal then? Because your opinion is that you don't have a problem. My opinion is that I have a problem. You said he was a hero.
I think the reasoning and the rationale behind your opinion, besides the law, I think it's a little twisted. I think it's a little skewed. That's why.
But you said he was a hero. That's why I made the video. So,
but he did take out a weirdo.
He got himself in trouble, bro. He didn't do.
But he did take out a weirdo, though. No, he's gone forever. Melvin is in the prison. He ain't gonna be in for 8 years, so he's gone forever.
Hey, let's say he took out.
We don't have to worry about him accidentally coming into the women's restroom ever again.
I know, and we don't have to worry about that ever again because the guy is, let's say he's the only pedophile in America. So he killed one pedophile and his daughter is safe.
One day at a time, Pippin. When he comes out, maybe he'll take another one down.
4 years.
Maybe. Maybe he'll take another one down, but this time he'll learn from his actions. Be like, okay, this time I need to set up a deal with security. Like, yo, bruh, what's good? Let me know when they come in the restroom and call me. He could be the new man taking down pedos. I don't have a problem with that.
4 to 8 years of pedophiles coming for his daughter while he's in prison.
Because of witnesses, pimpin'. That's the only reason. Witnesses.
Nah, bro.
So just you don't have any witnesses.
Think about this, bro. Think about this. If no witnesses saw him, they would do DNA. They would do DNA. They saw surveillance video of his vehicle. That's how they found him. They didn't really need the witnesses. They saw the surveillance video.
Do what you gotta do. Figure out other techniques.
At the heat of the battle, then now you premeditate.
If it's premeditated, you can. If it's premeditated, he can be the quickie Batman. He can be the quick trip Batman. Just like, don't go to that quick trip. Don't go to that quick trip going into stalls. There is somebody who is looking for you.
Bro, these people don't
security is with him. They erased the video footage. We didn't see anything.
So let's just look at it. Let's just look at it like this. We don't disagree on the law.
I disagree with that of him getting 8 years. I'd like to know what was the conversation he was having in order for him to plead what he pled to.
He pled to get 8 years. Nobody did that. He pled guilty to manslaughter.
I know, but I'd like to know, was he coerced into it? Was it bad advice? I'd like a little more into that. Because I think 8 years is a little bit much.
So he innocent, but he's stupid enough to plead to 8 years. I doubt it. He gets a public defender. People do it all the time. All right. So, I mean, that speaks to his irresponsibility. But we don't disagree on the law because he pled guilty.
Or just bad advice. Right? If an officer says you can't do that, that's illegal. Well, he is an officer. I'm sure he knows more than me.
If an officer tells me,
if a lawyer telling you should plead guilty, you're going to get this, this, and this. It could be bad advice, but I'm like, okay, you the lawyer.
If a lawyer tell me to plead guilty to 8 years in prison when I was innocent, just defending my daughter, I wouldn't listen to that lawyer. And if
he told you could potentially get life or whatever, or the punishment of you losing this case is game over,
because he know he was going to lose the case. Brother.
See, there we go. I don't know.
The lawyer knew he was going to lose that case. You beat a man while he was unconscious.
I don't know that. He could have gotten a bummy lawyer who just gave him bad advice.
Bro, I'm telling you, Stevie wanted to concede that he was guilty because he beat the man while he was unconscious. That is murder. So regardless, so we ain't too far off with the law. You just think that the guy is justified and he should have. And you would recommend to other fathers that if this same scenario happened, you go beat that dude down.
Yeah, and make sure there's no witnesses. Yes, absolutely, 100%. Make sure there's no witnesses, and make sure you park where the security cameras can't see you. 100%.
So you tell other men to premeditate a murder
of a weirdo trying to enter their daughter's stall. 100%. Yes.
What you perceive as a weirdo who you never talk to, you don't know, he was shaking a stall. So you
three-time offender. Yes. I'm telling you, yes.
You didn't see him 3-time offend. Somebody else told you that he offended 3 times. So you want to premeditate. You want them to premeditate a murder from a guy shaking a stall, whom you don't know if he did it before or not.
Shaking the stall to enter in to cause him harm, cause the daughter harm.
Well, I gave an articulation in my video why. How much was he really trying to go into the thing? It could, he could have gave a better effort than just.
That's not good enough for me. I'm sorry. You just being in the bathroom is strike 1 and 2.
Yeah, but there could be a possibility that he was in there on accident. Have you ever went in the wrong restroom?
No one goes in the accident 3 times, Brett.
No. Let's leave all of that. Have you ever went to
no one goes in the wrong restroom 4 times.
Don't worry about it. Let's talk about this time. Have you ever gone into the restroom? Have you ever gone to the wrong restroom? Have you ever gone into the wrong restroom? Ever in your life?
No, never.
Anybody in the chat that's watching and commenting, let us know if you ever gone to the wrong restroom. I have walked into the wrong restroom on at least 3 occasions.
Now, have you walked to the wrong restroom and then shaken a woman's stall?
No. Just say if you were a father and you saw me going to women's restroom, what would you do to me? I accidentally went in the thing. You gonna come shoot and kill me?
I cannot. If I tell you what I do to you, I can't share the live stream because I'm gonna incriminate myself.
But the thing is that like if you go and kill me and you haven't addressed the situation, you just killed an innocent man that accidentally went to the wrong restroom. You're gonna get time in prison like Amber Geiger did.
All right, that's fine. That's fine. If he goes to the restroom and immediately comes out, once you see how the women go,
he go in there a little bit because he on his phone. He go in there a little bit and he try to go in the stall and he go, oh shit. Then he look and say, I'm in the wrong restroom. And you already
that is the perfect storm. That's unfortunate for him. He's just having a bad day. He's just having a bad day. It's a perfect storm. Perfect storms happen all the time.
Well,
this was not the case.
Let me give some people a little advice. If you end up encountering that, you need to be smart and address the guy and say, hey, try to figure out what's going on. Bro, what you doing? And if he confronts you and you got to fight, then you got to fight. But if the dude is like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm in the wrong restroom, you can still call the police on the guy.
That's too much. You going into the restroom, if the door is locked, all I need is just a push. Okay, that's it. Let's go on.
Brother,
I've the door.
Now, I have never gone in the wrong restroom and tried to stall. I go in there and I see, like, oh, this all stall.
There's a little slit in the stall where you can see if someone's there or not.
No, but I have gone in the restroom and shook the thing, especially in the restroom where it's the handicap.
In the woman's restroom?
No, I'm saying in the regular restroom. I have gone in and shook it because I was trying to see if somebody was in there, so I shook it a little bit like, hey, anybody in there? So I've done that before. I'm not giving the guy an excuse. What I'm saying is that as an investigator, you can't just jump your first instinct. So I'm telling you.
I agree with that. I agree with you. I agree with you on that. I agree with you.
Just broaden your mind out to not be single-minded and say, he could have been trying to rape her or he could have gone into the wrong restroom. These are the things that a grown man should think about.
But you can say that if this was his first time. He's done this multiple times.
But you ain't seen the guy do it. They could be wrong. They could have mistaken him for another homeless guy.
So they mistook him 3 times? How likely is that?
But could it happen? Could it happen?
Miss me with this possibility, though. I'm talking about probability. That's highly unlikely. They see the same dude go into the woman's restroom 3 times, and all 3 times are wrong.
You're betting your life on this. So if you want to bet your life on it, you want to make sure that it's factual. You're willing to kill a man. You better make sure that you're right. You better make sure he actually did that 3 times before you react.
Well, technically, you can never make sure that 100% right. It's just beyond a reasonable doubt. Reasonable doubt doesn't mean you're accurate or you're right. It just means beyond a reasonable doubt.
Just call the police. That's all I say. Call the police, man. Let them figure it out. You can't take matters in your own hands. You end up in prison and get.
I agree. But I 100% agree with you. You shouldn't go ignorant. You shouldn't go. But I'm gonna let this dude slide, given the context. I'm gonna let him slide.
I would give any father the space to be angry. I'll give you that. You should be angry. I would be angry if somebody did that. But I also have to think about it and say, I don't know what the heck was going on.
You can't be angry and think. Those are 2 different things. You can't do both at the same time.
If you're a father like I am, you have to learn how to be angry, but you have to be able to think. Because I can't go to prison because my son need me to be out here.
Well, you are one of the rare fathers out there. I would say for the majority of fathers, if their daughter came to them telling, hey, that's the dude who tried to enter my stall, I don't think they're going to be upset, but let me think about this. I think they're going to act.
I wouldn't do it. My daddy wouldn't do it. You know, so I don't know what men will be like, let me go get this food. You know, and then you knock him down.
What do you mean? In a heartbeat, I'm like, who was it? Baby, who was it? Was it him? I'm like, let's go have a walk, pimpin'. We're gonna have a chit chat.
In a perfect world, then I say, yeah, in a perfect world where you can beat a guy up and he don't die.
Now, okay, I hear you, right? Beat him up and don't die. But even beat him up, that's against the law, right? That's assault. Well, so we can bend the law in certain situations.
No, it depends on the circumstance, brother. It's all about the circumstance. If you catch a dude in the act, you can defend your daughter and yourself all the way to a deadly force, depending on the situation. If it's
There's nothing to defend her from because he was just, according to you, just shaking the stall.
That's all they knew. That's all the information they had. He was shaking the stall. He didn't say nothing to her.
Well, for me, I think you need to see more evidence than I do. For me, you even going into the women's restroom, that's strike 1 and 2. I see you shake the stall that my daughter's in. That's strike 3, 4, 5, 6.
You didn't see it. You didn't see it. She came and told you that's what happened.
I understand. So I'm going to say, yo, babe, are you 100% sure that's him? Yes, that was him. Yes, that's him. Daddy, I swear.
You going to say, baby, I love you. I'll see you in 8 years or 25 years because I'm going to go kill you.
No, because I'm gonna look at my 12. I'm going to look at my 6. Let me talk to you in the bathroom real quick. Let me talk to you in the bathroom. Was this the bathroom you did it in? Where there's no cameras? No, he slipped and fell out. He slipped and fell on a urinal, for all I know.
Now you hope that he ain't like retired Mike Tyson, or that he got a banger.
I'll take my chances. If the weirdo beats me up, then I'm like, yo, baby, your daddy tried, but he got his ass handed to him. I'm trying.
What if he did? What if the dude do you like Melvin did him in front of your kid?
Unlikely. I don't know any Mike Tysons going into women's stalls trying to shake stalls. I don't know. Maybe they have boxing experience, but for the majority of people, they don't have fighting experience.
When they crazy though, somebody high on meth, they be crazy. So what I'm saying, I carry a gun.
You just tried to assault my daughter.
I carry a gun everywhere I go. I got tons of guns in my house.
Well, not all of us are blessed as you. Now, some of us just only have these hands, Pimpin'.
But no, I carry it just in case somebody else have a gun. So I cover all my bases. If you want to throw the hands, we throw the hands, and I got the gun if you want to go gunplay. But what I'm saying is that
I feel like that makes you liable though, because if I know you had a gun, I'm gonna try and get your gun.
My gun is concealed. I conceal carry. People never know I have a gun unless they see me on this lock machine. But anyway, the thing is that I still don't confront people because I understand, like I said at the end of my video, when you go to put your hands on somebody, you got to be willing to go all the way.
You don't confront crazy people, but you can assess someone. You can assess someone. Come on now. If he's looking like, I don't know, you can always assess someone. Be like, this person's more likely, this person's less likely. A person's shagging their pants, they got chains on everything. You just is what it is.
What if you're wrong?
Then I'm wrong. I'm willing to take that risk.
Bro, I respect everybody. Like they got hands.
Now, in Arizona, where it's open carry, whatever you got there, now that's a different story. That's a different story.
I respect everybody like they Mike Tyson because I don't know. I've seen dudes that look like weenies and they can fight.
I agree. And most of the skinny ones are the skinny ones who can fight don't usually get in fights because they're trained. Because they know what they can do.
I treat people like they Mike Tyson and they have a gun. I'm not.
Oh, hell no. I'm not. No, you're not getting that much respect from me. Respect is earned. I'm not automatically treating you like Mike Tyson and you have a gun. What?
You don't know if they got a gun or not. Now you run up on somebody thinking that they soft, and then they pull a gun on you, and you think you doing hands, and they got the gun. You gone. I mean, like all these people that die in road rage and all this stuff, bro.
Listen, that's where the sucker punch comes from.
Bro,
I don't have to worry about him doing anything.
Bro, I can fight. I can shoot really well. I'm highly trained. I still don't play with people unless I'm ready to kill them. And that's what I think.
All right, that's on you. That's on you. You don't get into conflict unless you're ready to kill them. That's a pretty big step for me.
Wait, I think
because of your training, because of your background, you think completely different than the majority of people.
They should think like me because it can go all the way. People, when they playing, like I saw a video the other day of a man road raging. He road raging. He gets out the car and he fake like he pulled a gun out. The other guy pulled a gun and shot and killed him. You can't. You don't play like it could be life and death. Like this guy, like the guy who got killed in this situation. Like Leon. I don't know. Maybe Leon was like, whatever, bro. You ain't really about that. And then he get knocked out and killed. You don't know who's who. So I'm gonna let you go, bro. Oh,
I respect that. But usually they have a tail where it's like they may not want to mess with him. Most of the time. Oh shoot, where'd he go?
We still live.
We good. Okay, we still good. Go for it.
So let me say this. I'm gonna say this in front of the world. Lucas, I'm willing right now. Because I'm a forgiving person and we two grown men. So I'm going to say right now, I'm willing to forgive you. I don't have no beef with you. All I would ask you to do,
You cutting out. I think it's God because I know you're about to ask some craziness. Go for it. What was that? I didn't hear the last part.
I said, all I'm saying, I'm willing to squash this. All I'm saying is that don't call me out my name. I won't call you out yours. Don't say nothing about my girl and we won't have any problems.
I think that's fair too.
So for all y'all watching, there ain't no beef between me and the
Ain't no beef. It's squash. There ain't no Bloods and Crips.
And I'll say, let me add this. Is there anything else while you live that you disagree with me that we wasn't able to hit on when we missed live the last time?
I think the Amber Geiger, you saying that the jury was racist, I think that's nonsense.
No, did you watch? You watched both of my videos. I made a first video and then I made the rebuttal video.
What was the rebuttal video?
The rebuttal video said, and I said, first of all, I never said that they were racist. I said it was suspicious that they were stacked with minorities. And if the situation were reversed, people would call that out as being suspicious. I only called it suspicious. I did not say they were racist. In my second video,
you said it was racial. The charge was racially motivated.
No, I said it could have been because of the jury was stacked. I never said it was.
That's nonsense. That's nonsense.
Okay, when black people get charged and the jury is all white people,
I say that's nonsense too.
No, I mean, okay, if you look at history, it is legitimate.
Unless you can prove that the people on the jury or look at their background and whatnot. But isn't that the job of the lawyer jury selection?
No, bro,
they have a process.
Listen, I'm not saying that it's unequivocal and you can't prove it. All I said was it was suspicious. That's all I said was suspicion. In my second video, I said
everything's suspicious then.
Okay, that's fine. It's my opinion. But in my second video, I said, I was shocked that the jury gave her, because the jury were the ones that gave her the time, not the judge. The jury said she should get 10 years. So I was shocked at that. I made that in my second video. So,
okay. I think, but the jury was influenced by the testimony.
That's what juries do.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Both of John's brother is a clown. That's why I said that.
I disagree with you on that premise because we were talking about the religious context. Botham John's brother didn't apologize just on his own merit. He did it because he felt like it was right by God. And the Bible does say that you will not be forgiven by God.
But he could have done that after the trial. Because it was because of his influence that the group of people were like, well, I couldn't have done that after I saw that. Because the prosecutors wanted to give her, was it 32 or 38?
Well, listen, man, that's his brother, not my brother or your brother. So if he feel the need to forgive him, I think he's justified in it.
One of the brothers is gone, so I'm speaking for the other brother. Because I don't think the other brother would have agreed to what he did.
He said that both of them would have wanted that. So
of course he would say that. Of course he would.
Who's more accurate, him or us?
Us. I say us. If he were to say, yo, my brother believes 1 + 1 is 506, I'm like, I don't think so. I don't think so.
He know his brother more than we do. This is what I will say. When you look at the circumstances, I know a lot of people want to say, oh, she was a cop. When you look at the circumstances, it was an accident. Now, it's not an accident to the point where you don't do prison time. And I said that. I thought she was going to get 25 years. They gave her 10.
I would have been fine with 25. Bro, 25 would have been fine.
Well, they gave her 10 and I was shocked. And I made a video and said I was shocked. I kind of think that was a little light. 15 to 20 sound out like to be more reasonable to me. But it's the jurors and the family and all of the testimony that
I agree. The whole situation, for me, I think the whole thing was a circus. That's what I think. I think the whole thing was a circus. Her trying to delete text messages and everything from officers, talking about how competent and how good she was, even though there were signs in her history where she was clearly incompetent. I think the whole thing was a clown show.
Let me say this in her defense. She must have been above average as an officer because she was a female on a tactical unit. And in policing, that's very rare. So she must have been physically fit and she must have been pretty decent with a good record history on the department to be on a tactical training court.
She could have been that big going into someone else's apartment.
Well, people make mistakes, and I think that she made an ultimate mistake. She deserved to go to prison over that. So I've never said she shouldn't. 10 years was what they gave her. And it was a black judge, majority minority jury. So it wasn't
all skin folk ain't kin folk. That's not the same thing. Her coming down from the bench, hugging her and all that. Nobody approves that. Nobody.
Now let's look at it like this.
Nobody even approves him even coming down from the bench and hugging her. Because he could have had a weapon on him or something. Or something like that.
Bro, you can't get it. First of all, you can't get in the courtroom with a weapon because you go through the metal detector and you get checked.
Because no one's ever gotten into court with a weapon. That's never happened.
Oh, it's rare, but like.
Oh, okay. Well, then that same to you. It's a possibility. And she allowed him, the brother, the victim, to hug the officer. What happened if he just given her that 2-piece and not the hug in the Bible? I mean, 1, 2.
If he'd have gave it a 2-piece, they would have broke it up like they do in court when people fight. In court, he would have got.
Who's the judge? What happened if he had actually physically severely harmed her? That one punch, and now she's dead.
Well, then there's going to be liability, right? The judge would not be liable for that.
I think that's insane that the judge would have even allowed that to happen. Much less her coming down and hugging her and giving a criminal. This is a murderer. They didn't even do that to OJ.
Let me explain this. Let me explain this to you. You can't lump every judge in the same category, different judge, different jurisdictions, whatever, right? Also, the judges...
I'm not, but I can't lump the clown judges with other clown judges.
Well, bro, the judge is impartial. The judge does not have a vested interest in either side. She hugged both families.
Clearly she did. How good would that have looked if she had hugged Amber and then not hugged the other family?
She hugged both those families first, and then...
Of course she got to.
She hugged both the families first. She wasn't going to hug the girl. The girl asked her twice.
Did she give both of them's family a Bible too?
The girl asked for the Bible.
I don't care. I'm sure she could have asked for a lesser sentence. She could have asked for a piece of gum. This is a murderer.
Let's get out the flesh. Let's get into the spiritual realm. As a Christian, because you're a Christian, I'm a Christian. As a Christian, do you think it was right for her to forgive or for her to hug her and give her a Bible as a Christian?
As a Christian?
Yeah.
As a Christian to hug? No. Okay, no, because there was nothing about her that seemed remorseful. The tears don't work on me. You don't hug a criminal.
No, let's go.
If they committed crimes, I'm a murderer. I'm happy I'm a murderer. I'm getting a light sentence. I'm not hugging you. There is nothing in the Bible that says we should hug someone who's not remorseful. Nothing. There is no scripture that can justify it.
Let's go with what you said. She did cry and she did apologize and say she was sorry. Now, you can believe it or not. Now, was it Christian for the brother to come?
What else is she going to do? She's having a case. What do you mean, bro?
Okay, let's talk about the brother. Was it Christian-like for the brother to come down and hug her? Was it Christ-like?
Was it Christ-like to hug someone who's unremorseful?
You saying she unremorseful. He believed she was sorry.
There's nothing to show me that she was remorseful. Even when she committed the crime, she tried to erase evidence.
So listen to this. The Bible
that shows corruption.
Okay, the Bible says that we are to forgive other people or God will not forgive us. How many times you forgive? 70 plus 70 or whatever they say in the Bible.
That doesn't mean I hug you.
No. How do you want Jesus to treat you when you have done something wrong and you would like forgiveness?
And I repent? Absolutely.
No. Even because you know and I know that we have done things that we haven't repented for and God still shows us mercy. I think it's reasonable to say, although we may not deserve to be hugged, and although we may not deserve to be reconciled with God, he does it anyway, even when we don't even ask him.
I agree. I'm not God.
Well, the Bible says that you are to be Christ-like. Am I right or wrong?
That's correct. But also Christ, when he went into the temple, seeing everybody wilding out in God's temple, he gave them that work. He called the Pharisees out. You nothing but a bunch of hypocrites.
And that's cool. But I'm saying she asked for forgiveness. She said, I'm sorry. Now you said in her heart she didn't mean it, but
I don't think there was any I think those words were hollow. That's what I feel.
Okay, but she did ask, right? And you don't know
that doesn't mean that those words mean anything. It's like someone saying I love you. That doesn't mean you actually love them.
You know her
People
heart?
use words all the time. Given the context of the scenario, and she's on trial and cameras are rolling, what other option does she have? She's going to say, I'm not repentant?
Well, there's plenty of criminals that laugh at the victims after they kill them. So what I'm saying is that you don't know.
Already put on the waterworks, so it was already part of the skit she was putting on.
Well, I'll say this. If you may not believe her heart, but she must have compelled people well enough that his brother came down and hugged her. The judge came down and gave her a right.
I think that's sickening. I think that's absolutely sickening.
And the jury gave her 10 years instead of 25.
I think that's absolutely sickening. Absolutely. All of it. Sickening.
So
it hurts my stomach.
I'll leave it with this because I think it's going to time us out.
You got 10 seconds. You're right. Go for it.
I don't think you're a clown for believing that. I just disagree with you.
That's fair. I don't think you're a clown.
And I don't think you're a weirdo.